good morning,
Good
or
teaching.
assalamu alaikum,
Yes, ma'am.
or I love you, brother
Yes,
and
ma'am.
sister. I think that we should start practicing doing that, because without love, we go nowhere. Is that right?
That's right. That's
In
right.
John chapter 5:17, it says, love of self comes first. And in the nation, we're taught, love yourself, love God, love your family, love your nation. Love God first. But loving God first is loving yourself. Because he made us in his image and in his likeness. Is that right?
That's right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, the one that loves everybody is the one that loves nobody.
Wow.
And you know, when you go around our people and they say, oh, we just love everybody. We just love everyone. Well, how is it possible to love everyone? And if we're made in the image and likeness of God, and he hates certain
That's
people.
right.
He hates certain people. And if we're made in his image and in his likeness, how can we love everybody? So we need to change our thinking, is that right?
Yes,
Since we have fallen into the hands of the open slave enemy, slave master, we have been robbed and killed.
Yes.
We must love ourselves and our kind. We must begin to love each other as brothers and sisters. In this way, we will have no trouble uniting with each other. Because the order of the day is for us to unite. Is that right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we have to stop unwanted criticism
Yeah.
of others when we're trying to start our own businesses and
Come on.
do our own thing and do it for self. We have to love one another enough to want to care to those businesses. Is that right?
That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Allah, God created us in his own image and in his own likeness. That means he did not make a mistake when he made us.
That's right.
He made us powerful. He made us strong. He made us creative. But someone took that away from us.
Sure did.
When they dragged us over here, raped and mutilated
That's
on
right.
those slave ships, something was taken from us.
That's right.
Our very essence of life and love was robbed from us.
Yes, ma'am.
That means he did not make no junk. So even if you've grown up without tender, loving parents, even if you've grown up in foster care, even if you've grown up in group homes, you may have even been in jail, and you may not have experienced the love of a natural mother and a natural father. Perhaps your parents could have been on drugs and they weren't able to extend that love to you.
That's right.
We have a man in our midst.
Go ahead.
His name is the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, who has shown us undying love for himself, his family, ourselves, and a whole world of people. We must begin to have that type of love for ourselves.
Yes.
Many of us didn't know how to love ourselves because as we have been stripped and robbed, that still has an effect on us today.
Right.
If we don't think slavery still has an
Yes, it
effect
does.
on us
Yes,
today,
it does.
then we really need to take the soot out of our eyes.
Yes.
Because our families are being separated, we're being split apart,
Right.
rape, rob, murder is on the rise in Babylon, and it is
Come on.
falling. Is that right?
That's right.
Our names, our language, our families, and our God was all stripped from us. And that is why we are acting and reacting the way we are. We get angry if someone steps on our foot. You ever gone in your car and someone cut you off and
Every
you mad dog? You look at them, what you want to do, you know? It's a reaction, you know, from how we have been treated. And that same enemy is working hard today. The same enemy we had yesterday is the same enemy we have today. He's just become more diplomatic and more skillful in how he is oppressing us.
Yes.
Our black and brown and our red skin is the best. They're often
That's the
shown
best
trying to get as
That's
dark
right.
as they possibly can
Yes.
to be like us.
Yes.
That should tell us something. And we should never, ever try changing our color.
That's right.
Unless we're trying to get a suntan. Okay? We must begin to love ourselves and our own kind. And when we become aware of the knowledge of ourselves and the time that we are living in, you begin to understand yourself, your value, and your worth. Even though we have gone to their schools and have gone as far as they have allowed us to go, it was not far enough for us to learn the knowledge of ourselves.
That's right.
The teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan equips us with that information. The lack of knowledge of ourselves is one of our main handicaps. It blocks us throughout life, throughout the world, throughout making proper decisions. They've called us Negroes, which means dead in the mind. Now we call each other that. They call us colored. They call us all kind of names. And after nearly 100 years of so-called freedom, we are still representing ourselves by their names.
Yes, we are.
It is time for us to learn who we really are as the children of the Most High God. It is time for us to get a clear understanding of ourselves. That true knowledge is here for you and me today, whether you accept it or reject it. It is right and exact and good for our people.
Yes.
God has said that we are members of the original people, the Asiatic people, the makers, the owners, the cream of the planet Earth, the gods of the universe. Let us take in and apply this truth, for we are 20 million strong, and we are more than capable of working independently of our enemy. We don't need them. Thank you for listening, and I leave you all as I came before you. The reading words of peace and paradise of Assalamu Alaikum. Now I will bring a very strong, helpful to Minister Malik brother who has been working hard and diligently, him and his wife. It is my great honor to bring on my brother, Brother Landon X. Thank you so much.
Keep it going for our dear sister, Sister Valerie Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. Starting off in the proper fashion, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I bear witness that there is but one God who appeared to us in the person of Master W. Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever. I further bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. But let me be very, very clear. I speak of none other than the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. When I say
Yes, sir.
that Muhammad is his messenger. Now that is no disrespect, that is no slight to Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, peace be upon him. He did a beautiful work on behalf of Almighty God Allah. He revealed the Holy Quran over the span of 23 years, and it set off a world renaissance that we still see the effects of today. In fact,
That's right.
much of what we may think this white man produced or created, it was actually set off by the revelation of the Holy Quran, the book of the Muslims, which was revealed by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whether you like it or not. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
However, I'm not that old. I wasn't born and raised in Arabia. I'm in a wicked nation. First of all, I'm in the nation of Islam, which is a beautiful nation. But physically and geographically, I'm in a wicked nation called the United States of America.
Teach it over.
Am I the only one?
Break it
No,
down.
you're not.
Who else is in the United States of America right now? Okay, somebody didn't raise their hand. I guess they high or something. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
But in case you don't know, you're in the United States of America right now.
Yes, sir.
Whether legally or illegally, whatever the case may be, this is where you are right now. And the Holy Quran makes a promise to me, and it makes a promise to you. Let me rephrase what I just said. In the Holy Quran, He makes a promise to you, and He makes a promise to me. That He that I'm speaking of is Almighty God Allah. He said, and I believe Surah 16, Ayat 36, He said that certainly, what was that word?
Certainly.
For my country folks, that means for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly, He will raise a messenger for every nation from among that nation. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
How many of you are currently in Arabia right now? Raise your hand. Good, good. So whoever was high, they walked out. I'm not in Arabia.
That means.
I'm in the United States of America.
Say that.
And I belong to the black nation, the original nation, the nation of Islam. So the Holy Quran promises me, and God promises you that He would raise a messenger from among you. Is that correct?
That's right.
And that's what I'm speaking of when I say that I bear witness that Muhammad is His messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, to be right and exact and down to the modern time.
That's right.
All praises due to Allah. But if you add up the years Like I said, I'm not that old. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad departed from us several years before I was even born. The Most Honorable, actually Master Fard Muhammad departed from us several decades before I was even born. So how do I even know about those two men? I know about those two men because there's a man in our midst today.
Come on now.
And when I see this man, I don't know what y'all looking at.
Okay.
But when I see this man, I feel like I'm looking at a divine reflection of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And when I hear this man, I feel like, I don't know how you feel, I feel like I'm listening to a divine echo of Master W. Fard Muhammad. So in those three great names, I greet you all in the words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Give yourselves a round of applause for leading us today. Muhammad March number 27. You could have found all manner of foolishness to get into this morning, or you could still be slobbering on your pillow, but you decided to come and get some wisdom. So give yourselves a round of applause one more time. That's a smart move. Keep that up the rest of the week. All right?
Yes, sir.
Now, before I bring up our beloved Western Regional Student Minister, Abdul Sayid Muhammad, I just want to share something with you that crossed my mind just the other day. I found myself driving down Figueroa the other day. I think it was Friday. And anybody else who drives down Figueroa in South Central Los Angeles, you see a very terrible sight. You see our beloved sisters.
Right.
They don't know that they are sisters, but they are sisters. You might not know that that's your sister, but that's your sister, brother. And they're out there physically selling themselves.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, spiritually selling themselves. And a number popped up in my mind. A number that I had read several weeks ago that broke my heart. And it's the number 64,000. 64,000. At this moment, there are 64,000 black and Aboriginal women that are missing.
That's right.
They are missing.
Facts.
And they ain't just somewhere lost.
Facts.
They were taken. They were kidnapped. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They were taken away from their natural situation, their homes, their families. I thought we had passed that.
Come
I
on.
thought slavery was the last
Come on.
time where they did something, but actually it's still happening today, but
Yes, it is.
specifically to our black woman.
Yes, it is.
And that broke my heart, but then I got to thinking about the Muslim program. How many of you have ever read The Final Call? Raise your hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the Nation of Islam, we have our final call. In every issue of the final call, if you go back to the last page, we have the Muslim program. After you read everything that we printed in this beautiful newspaper, we tell you what we believe and what we want.
Right.
The LA Times don't tell you that. Huh?
That's right.
New Orleans Picayune don't tell you that. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution don't tell you that. The Miami Herald don't tell you that. The Sacramento Bee don't tell you that. The Chicago Sun-Times don't tell you that. I'm just naming all the newspapers that I know of. They didn't tell you that.
That's right. That's right.
In
Facts.
fact, they won't tell you that most of the writers in that newspaper believe that Jesus should be boiling in his own excrement.
That's
These are the Jews.
Fact. Fact. Keep.
But I also thought about something else. We should be careful when we see our sisters out there on the corner selling themselves to be judgmental.
That's right.
Roll our eyes.
That's right.
Or even laugh. Some of us laugh when we see our sisters out there. But we got to look at ourselves.
Right.
Because just the other day was what they call Black Friday.
Yes.
See, that sister's out there selling herself for some oppressor called her pimp. But we spend 98% of our money with a white man that's been oppressing us and pimping us for the last 400 plus years. So who's really the prostitute? All praise is due to Allah.
Wake us up.
And that's the actual title and the focus of our most recent Final Call newspaper. Get you a copy of this. Because I don't want to be a prostitute. Who in here want to be a prostitute? And he is the greatest pimp that this world has ever seen. And we keep on paying him. With that said, I am honored to bring up a brother who is on the front lines of the fight here in South Central Los Angeles and been on that front line for 25 years by the grace of Allah and by the instructions of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I'm going to need y'all. I didn't say I want y'all. I need y'all to show love to our beloved Western Regional Student Minister, Abdul Sayid Muhammad. Please receive him. Keep it going, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. To that one, dear brothers and sisters, who is the creator of all things, to that originator of the heavens and the earth. What a mighty God. What a mighty being. One who created himself out of the material called triple darkness of space. Can you imagine how powerful that is? In fact, can you even let your mind think of the beginning? How long ago was the beginning? That he created the sun, moon, stars, all the planets, the creatures. What a mighty God. We thank that God. We thank him for loving humanity so much so that he would create us in his image. In whose image?
His image.
Come on now, I need some of y'all to wake up. I don't know what kind of weed y'all on. Y'all used to say weed make you think. We're gonna get rid of some of that turkey residue. Potatoes, ham. But what a God. He created us in his image. So don't you let white people tell you God don't have an image.
Come on, come on.
He created us after his likeness. Wait a minute, white people told me you didn't have a likeness. That's your problem. You ain't been reading. You've been listening to your oppressor. I created you.
Gotta read. Come on.
In my own image. Meaning I have form. And I created you after my own likeness.
That's right.
And I created you out of that same blackness.
Oh, yeah.
Black is not a curse. You were created out of the blackness, that means you were first.
Right. That's right. That's right.
That's all.
Come on.
Come on.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
We're glad you at this meeting. This meeting is called How to Wake Up a Nigga.
Come on, that's right.
When you come to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it shakes your soul.
Come on.
And it gets up under the cover of lies that you and I have been buried under, even using the Bible to do it.
That's right.
I thank God for Abraham. I thank him for Moses. I can't even thank him enough. As I heard a beautiful brother praying one day, and he said, to God, if I had 10,000 tongues, I could not thank God enough for a man like Jesus. And if you read your Bible correctly, you'll realize Jesus was a black man.
Jeez.
Y'all still don't know that?
Come on, come on. Wake us up.
He had an afro. His hair was like lamb's wool. And he was not accepted in Europe. Europe rejected him. The Romans rejected him. That's white people.
Right. Come on.
Huh? They said, wait a minute, God sent you to get us? Wrong people.
Jeez.
I thank him for Muhammad and that book called the Holy Quran, of which you and I have turned our back on. Because our oppressor know that if we set our face toward the Quran, it is the book that was taken from our ancestors.
Yes, sir.
It's a book.
And disallowed among the slaves.
All right. That's right.
George Washington and the founding fathers said, whatever you do to the Negro, don't allow him two things. Do not allow them to return back to the God that it took us 64 years to break out of him. And do not let him study his history.
Right.
For if he get back on the path of those two things, they're going to be trouble. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
What he did not know, what this white boy did not know.
Come on with it.
You cannot erase or eliminate nor delete God from our soul.
Go ahead.
Come on
Do
with
it.
You can delete or mess up my understanding of God, my idea of God, but you cannot delete him from my soul. My soul is so connected to the God that when I hear truth, it will agree with my soul. In the midst of so many lies that's been told.
Come on now.
I am grateful, dear brothers and sisters, in this wicked year of 2019, that we have seen everything imaginable from our open enemy. Have you realized that this Caucasian will never treat you right?
Never.
In fact, I'm not even mad at him.
Come on.
Because in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he taught us from his Savior the nature of everything.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And when you know a creature's nature, you get a better understanding of that
That's
creature.
a fact. That is a fact.
You'll be a fool to have a rattlesnake as a pet. And it bites you when you sleep and you like, why'd you do that? Snake's the same, man. I'm a snake. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So I thank God you're going to enjoy, well, if you're not a house Negro,
Come on. Qualify. Come on.
and if you haven't fallen so in love with your oppressor, you're going to enjoy today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For we do not desire to preach. This is a classroom
It's a fact.
where it is our desire to teach.
That's right.
Because if I teach you right, you're already in the right mind frame. You came to the Nation of Islam meeting with a critical mind.
That's right.
In fact, some of you came in here saying, they ain't changing me. Good. We don't want to.
That part.
In that sense.
That's right.
Come, I'm going to listen to everything I say. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to be very critical. Why wasn't you like that in front of your white teacher?
Go ahead now.
That's right.
Why didn't you go to USC like that?
Come on.
Why didn't you question the historian at UCLA and say, Cracker, you lying, you're lying. Y'all didn't discover no America.
Hey.
There was already some people here. You didn't say that.
Come on now.
I thank Allah for coming in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, a man that you're going to get familiar with.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And he raised for us a Georgia-born black man by the name of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Gave him a word that evolved into a message to the black man.
Yes, yes, sir.
No black, no brown, no red family should not be without this book.
Come on.
Right.
It is a very critical analysis of Caucasian people and your condition. I don't want that book if it's condemning people. I gave a white person this book. They hurry up and gave it back to me. As soon as they opened it, it said, the white man said, oh, you can have that book. Damn, y'all take everything else. You don't want this, huh?
Come on. See.
This is that light that the vampire don't like.
Ah.
Teach it on.
Lord, sucker. Come on.
Yes, sir.
That's why I keep it with me. When I go before a judge, I be like, all right, you're off. No, don't take me to the court. Messing around and get 1,000 years. But I thank God for this great man called the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Out of all the great black leaders,
Yes, sir.
they never give you Elijah Muhammad.
Never. Think about it.
Never.
Not at all.
They'll give you Malcolm, but Malcolm boasted about his teaching.
Yeah. Say that.
They'll give you Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali was Cassius Clay before he met Elijah.
That's right.
Why don't they give you their mother?
Jeez.
Because they don't want you to go to the source that they went to, because that source will do for you what it did for them. Huh? If it wasn't for this great man called Farrakhan,
Sir.
Elijah Muhammad would have been erased out of history.
That's right.
Sir.
I thank God for Minister Farrakhan, because right now we have the nation shook up. Caucasians are angry. We didn't get him. Now Farrakhan has produced children. So in their holy and righteous name, I greet you today, my brothers and sisters. In the greeting words of peace, we say it in our language.
Teach.
What? Yeah, you are the original Arab.
Fact. Fact.
Them light-skinned Arabs over there, imposters.
Fact. Come on now.
Just go in the sands and dig up the statues.
See?
What?
Just go over to the pyramids and look at the Mentu Netta.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look at all the statues, the Hatshepsut. Look at the Sphinx.
Go ahead.
Huh? The head of a black man with the high cheekbones, broad nose, and thick lips.
Jeez.
There's a lion sleeping, Judah.
Come on now, sure is.
Who will wake him? Huh? Farrakhan is that lion that's roaring in America that's waking up the pussycat. I thank Allah for these teachings. For when I met the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I was a destroyer of my community.
That's right. Come on.
I had no concept of who the black woman was.
Teach. Sir.
So I went for the trick that the white man put in front of us with pimps and abusers.
Right.
And we started doing to each other what he did to us.
Stop for a
Go
moment.
ahead.
Stop for a moment.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor to be in the nation.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
It's an honor to be in the nation of Islam.
Yes.
And when you go in the black community, all praise. Even people that don't understand us in the hood, at least they said, that go to brothers.
teach it on.
That go to sisters.
Teach
I don't
it.
understand them, but one thing about them, they come with a certain aura. They come with a certain respect, because we will not leave the hood to go and be up in Hollywood or go and move among white people. We are in the hood.
Go ahead.
So that's where our work is. Our work is the work of Jesus. We go in the highways and the byways.
Jeez.
Every day.
Huh?
Yes.
We on Figueroa. Gotta tell these sisters that have allowed a pimp to make them think that they're a whore.
Come on now.
You are the
Teach.
second self of God.
Yes.
why you bow to me? Please, sister. Because of what I used to do to you.
Come on.
I did not know that you were the second self of God.
I mean.
That's right.
Teach.
I mean.
And I've been trying to make up for that ever since I've been in the nation. How about you?
Yes, sir.
So I thank you, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
When I say assalamu alaikum, you say wa alaikum salam.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
It's a prayer offer.
That's what it is.
Right, right.
That's what it is.
It's something that we need in the hood. Assalamu alaikum means God peace
That part.
be with you.
Yes.
And you say wa alaikum salam and may God peace be with you. Ain't that's what the hood means?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
That's our work in the nation. Our work is to get the Bloods and the Crips to tie their rags together. That's our work. Our work is among the black, the brown, and the red man.
That's right.
That's the work of the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
Mexicans is niggas too.
Come on.
You better believe it. That's right. That's right.
You stop being angry at them because you ain't even mad at the white man, but you're mad at them.
Yeah. Come on.
Think
Stop.
about it.
That's right.
Think about it.
Wake them up.
They've been lied to too.
Sure, right. Sure.
If you go into Mexico before the Spaniards raped their mothers, go
Right.
look at their pyramid.
Listen.
Go in Mexico and look at the bust of the male heads. They look like Africans. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's right.
Think about it.
Go up in the hills of Mexico. You'll see Mexicans as dark as anybody in this room.
That's right. That's
They got
right.
light skin the same way you got light. They got raped by the Spanish, you got raped by the British.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So stop. That's why they can pop and lock too.
Yes, sir.
I don't like them. You don't even like you.
You want it?
So I thank Allah, brothers and sisters, for this great teachings. It may not look like much to you, but what I love about the teachings is that it's not a teaching that's interesting. It is a teaching that is interested. Anybody that's preaching to be interesting want to be seen.
Come on. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Those who teach or preach because they love you are interested.
Subhanallah.
Teach now.
A great teacher is not interested in building some beautiful building that he can boast on that he got some power.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
A correct kind of teacher is one who can take a broken down people and rebuild them.
Right. Go ahead.
Say, look at that brother who was a dope dealer. Look how beautiful he looks now. But check him out in his broken down state.
Come on.
So I can't go listen to a preacher who all he wants is a bigger building.
That's all.
Teach.
When the house of God is sitting right in front of you, rebuild the people.
Right.
Yes.
When you come into the Nation of Islam, man, you come into a classroom and it teaches you everything all over again. I thought I knew how to walk until I came to the Nation.
Go ahead.
That's your job.
That's real.
You go into men's class and there's a black man giving you instructions on how to walk, how to drill, how to fight, how to talk,
Good.
even how to sit.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
We don't sit down slouched.
Come on.
Muslims are upright.
Come on. Teach.
Allahu Akbar.
We don't lay back in no seat. We sit upright
Yes, sir.
so that the blood can flow through the cartilage,
Come on.
so that the lungs can breathe. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Right now.
I thought I know how to bathe until I came in the Nation.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
I see some other folks that know how to bathe too. Brother, we gonna have a baby. Man, I know how to bathe. Yeah, well, which way do you do this? That way. Wrong way.
Wrong end. Come on.
I didn't go there. You always can tell a defense is back. Just intercept the ball and win it the other way. Brothers and sisters, thank you for honoring us with your presence.
Yes, sir.
I was blessed to be with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan a couple of weeks ago. And his greatest desire is for his followers to come alive again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on.
He said, my followers have become fans. They're not following. They're just my fans now.
Think about it.
Because if they was my followers, they would go where I tell them to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They would do the work. They're standing off in the distance saying, go, brother. I love him. But I'm not involved. He said, in essence, I don't want you to have an ex, I want you to be the ex.
Teach.
Meaning, you got life in you.
Yes, sir.
And everywhere you go, people know you're a Muslim.
Oh, what God.
You dress like one, you walk like one, you talk like one. You never try to lower yourself to fit in
Say that.
to Negroism.
Say that. Oh, what God.
No, I want to be identified as soon as I walk through the door, like Superman, Muslim.
Yes, sir.
So, our charge is to come back, hopefully, to put more life in the members of the nation.
Shake us up.
Sir.
We don't care. We're not your judge. None of us is doing the work like we can do.
That's right. That's right.
None of
That's right.
Huh?
That's right.
But we want to show our respect for a man that gave us life.
Yeah.
Because he's about to come under tremendous attack. Farrakhan is the last black leader standing in between us and the destruction that white folks want to do to us.
That's right.
He the last voice. Everybody else done punked out.
Leave it.
Go ahead.
Leave it.
NAACP ain't saying nothing.
Why?
They're getting a check.
Every day. That's right. That's right.
Huh? There is no SCLC. Panther Party, they trying. They just getting high.
Yep.
They trying. They trying. They ain't that Panther that was the Panther.
Come on,
when the
say
Panther was
that.
black.
Say that.
No more.
Oh, what God.
Neutralize.
Teach.
That part.
But I respect them.
Yes, sir.
Black lives is doing okay. It matters, but it's got to matter more when we killing each other. Where you at when Nuck shoot Junebug? See, when white people see you love yourself to that degree, they'll stop shooting you.
Right.
Come on.
So my subject today, it's not just befitting for our guests, it's befitting for those of us who've been in the nation.
Yes, sir.
Because some of us need a second dose of the resurrection.
Right.
Come on. Come on with it. Come on with it.
That's for real.
See, when you do God's work,
Uh-huh.
you can't blame nobody. Any human being in here that allow somebody else to just break your spirit or stop you,
Come on.
and then you want to blame them, why did you give them that kind of power?
Oh, what God.
I don't come around no more. I don't like her. Damn, she got that kind of power.
Wake them up. Wake us up. Wake us up.
But then you go around and tell everybody, I ain't no punk. I ain't scared of that. I ain't going around her.
Wow.
I ain't going to that. Anybody, don't mean that people can't rub you the wrong way, but don't give them power.
That's right. Good teacher. Good teaching.
Particularly in the nation of Islam throws out a net of people who've been under trauma of the white man.
Understand. I understand.
And in his world, he has reduced black people to piranhas, snakes, squids,
Every day.
pork. So when we pull black people in the mosque, it's a house of the mental resurrection.
Beautiful.
It's a hospital, and all of us come in here crazy. Come on now, I ain't the only one crazy. I'm looking at some of y'all. You look crazy. You ain't never been tried with no authority. Ain't nobody never respected you. And in the nation, you start cleaning up. But every now and then, that thing in me come out and it rubs you the wrong way. Or that thing in you comes out. And it rubs somebody else the wrong way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We lost that zeal that we had when we heard the teachings. Because we took our eye off of the teachings. And start thinking we can do it without having to plug into the teaching.
Got to.
And like Peter, when you take your eye, you sink.
Yes, sir. That's right.
But if you keep your mind, your heart, and your spirit on Farrakhan, it's hard to let go. Because he ain't never said let go. Because he ain't never let go.
What a man.
So I want to take this time out to thank the members of the Nation of Islam here in LA, Mosque 27. You are some of the best Muslims I know. I don't care what your condition is. I don't care what has happened to you. See, when you come in the nation, you didn't come into perfection. You're going to find out what you're made of when you come in the nation. God is going to try you with something of fear.
Yes, sir.
He said, I'm going to try you.
That's right. That's right.
Loss of life, diminution of fruit. You're going to come in here and want something, and I'm going to hold it back from you. I got to see how you act in disappointment.
Yes, sir.
And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Don't come in here thinking you can help black people in vanity. Saving black people. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, when we was in Chicago, he said, brother, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to me that it's easier to create a son than it is to resurrect black people. It's easier to produce a star than it is to raise a black man who's been up under white people for 400 years. He said, because when you're helping black people, all that came before us was robbers and thieves.
That's right. That's right.
So when it comes to black people, we have the mindset of suspicion.
That's true. So true.
So when you go to black people, you got to be ready for them to minister and say, brother, they're going to cuss you out.
That's right.
Can you handle that?
Sure enough.
My brother, man, ain't you brother, nigga.
Teaching good.
You know, you going to go into that mode and you want to fight. No, just bow.
I mean, what you
In the
say.
militant way, I understand. When you go in to try to help a black woman that's been raped. A black woman who's been told you ain't it. Some man with his tongue done beat her down. And you going and say, I want to help you.
Listen.
Help sound like hurt to her.
Understand. Understand.
It's the last knuckle.
That's how I said.
Oh man, these women is deeply wounded.
Yes.
Listen.
So you gotta have a love for black people so deep. But it first got to be rooted in you loving yourself. Some of us don't love ourselves enough to help black people.
Yes, sir.
Some of us, we are woe is me. Ain't nothing never good. Some of y'all ain't want to ask you, how are you? How are you? I started hearing people complain, I said, get in the car. Just drive them down the block. We walk in this tent with this woman with her children laying in the mud.
Come on, wake us up.
I said, now
Wake
what's
us
your
up.
problem?
Wake us up.
So may Allah bless us with the light of understanding.
Yes, sir.
Now, students,
Yes, sir.
I want to prepare you for what you are about to learn. Here's a mindset I hope you can be in. I want you to try to be unemotional. And I want you to reason with me. And I want you to take good mental notes or notes in general. And in everything we give you, I just want you to examine it. Because we're going to show you why is it that the wickedly wise of Caucasian people don't want you to hear the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and why the house Negro, who is called preacher of Christianity, don't want you to hear this teaching. Y'all all right? My subject today is titled The Resurrection of the Dead. It was inspired. I went to see, my wife and I went to see Harriet Tubman.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I love that sister. Harriet Tubman was a gangster.
Yes.
I mean, that's why her spirit is alive today, because most of the black movements today are being ran by women.
Right. Come on.
Teaching good. Teaching good.
See, when ain't no strong men around, the woman will assume that spot, bro. So we need the spirit of Harriet Tubman, man, and I don't mind it because I'm with a Harriet Tubman type man. His name is Farrakhan.
Yes,
He
sir.
took me to freedom. And I've been on his railroad trying to go back into slavery to pull other slaves.
That's right.
Come on with it.
Y'all all right?
Right now.
We're talking about the resurrection of the dead. Now, let me dispel resurrection as taught to you by white folks. Because the one thing that black people don't know is words. We hear words, but we don't know them. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us from his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, from his teacher, Master Fard Muhammad. There are 3 stages of death. You are only familiar with physical death. There's a death that takes place on 2 levels before physical. Do you know that you can be spiritually murdered?
Look around.
How?
Everywhere.
When a man cut you off from following the religion he found you in. When I get with white theologian scholars, I always ask them, did not God and the prophets see black people coming into slavery? And the Caucasian theologians, yes. I said, well then where are black people in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Because we had religion before we met you crackers.
Come on, say that. Come on, say that.
Did the religion we have benefited us before we met you?
Yes, sir.
And the crackers, oh yeah, y'all was building civilization.
Sure was.
In fact, we stole it.
Yeah.
We heard y'all calling a God Allah. I'm going to familiarize you with it today. And there's another level, you can die mentally. What is mental death? Mental death is when a man takes your name and then impose another one. Sister, can you imagine having a baby that you named after you done carried it for 9 months. Couldn't wait for it to get here, and you named the child, and then somebody took it. You're like, where's my baby? And the nurses said, we don't know. 20 years later, somebody said, we found your child. But somebody done put another name on it by me. And when you see the child, you call it by that name, and the child step back. Oh, no, my name is Frederick. How would that make you feel?
Cold-blooded.
Would you be angry? Come on, y'all talk back to me. Would you be angry? Well, what do you think God is about us?
Come on. Allah Akbar.
Black people are direct descendants of God, and somebody stole us. Somebody changed our name, changed our religion, changed our culture.
Yes, they
you
did.
think God ain't mad?
God, man.
He pissed off with America. That's why this strange weather keeps hitting
Go
America.
ahead. Say that.
That's why hurricanes
Come on,
one
Rick.
after another one
Come on,
is
Rick.
coming.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
God is about to Trump.
Okay.
Understand. Understand.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So the resurrection. So I want you to watch the screen, and we just going to go through a few things and try to move through this very quickly. Because I like to use PowerPoint so that you can see what I'm saying. I don't have to say, see what I'm saying. I'm going to show you. All right. I put this particular picture up because it sort of summarizes what I want to convey. And if you look at this picture, it's a picture of a black man. I use the male, brother, because whenever a group is at war with another group, the target is always the male first. Because the male of any race is supposed to be the first line of defense. And it is the male who carries the seed. So if you're a warrior and you know who you are, you got a total knowledge of yourself, and you got a woman that knows the same. But if I'm the oppressor, then what do I have to cut off? I got to stop that seed from manufacturing another him. So the Bible said there was no man around to till the soil. Is there any help for the widow's son? So ever since Caucasian people came in contact with us, they started off by putting us in chains. Chaining wasn't good enough, they started hanging us. And now they're shooting us. Ain't that changed?
That's right. That's right.
I just read a recent report where the FBI has agreed with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that now the police department in the major cities have been infiltrated by the Ku Klux Klan. On a whole nother level.
Come on now. Wake us up. Wake us up.
They can't wait to be a LAPD in the midst of gangbanging.
What you say?
Huh?
Yes,
They
sir.
can't wait to be a New York PD in the midst of our division. But this is where they win. We mad at us, and then they use us. They murder us and blame it on us. Come on. They got us on Negro remote control.
Come on. Come on. Yes, sir.
We are the modern day Frankenstein. You ever seen that movie Frankenstein? Yes, sir. Big old monster, but a little bitty cracker that made him. Come on. That's you.
That's right.
You ever seen a Frankenstein mask? Where's the scar? In the head. Where's your scar? Don't he have these prongs on his neck where his jugular is? See, the white man knew that because in the Holy Quran, Allah said, I'm as close to the original man as his own jugular vein.
Go ahead. That's right. That's right. Allah Akbar.
So if I control his head, I control his jugular. Because the jugular is where the thoughts travel through to get to the other parts of the body. So when the white man said, I hate Libya, he sent his Frankenstein niggas to go kill Muammar.
Wake us up. Wake them up.
I hate the Vietnamese in the 70s. He sent us. We didn't even have freedom here, and we went and fought for his freedom.
Say that. Say that.
God damn.
That's right.
Stop for a moment.
Damn those things. Come on now.
Stop for a moment.
How so?
Yeah.
Then he have the Christian preacher to bag that man. And to make you glad to be a slave. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So, we want to reverse this. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, brother, I'm Yakub in reverse.
That's right.
If the white man tricked us out of our original nature, then we're going to trick ourselves back into it.
That's right.
So if somebody invited you to the mosque and say, come on, brother, I'm going to buy you a meal, he tricked you. That's a good trick. If somebody tricked you into making $1 million, would you be upset? No. You'd be like, nigga, I'll be your trick all day. I mean, not see how y'all think. See how y'all think. Y'all went straight to the gutter. We can't help ourselves. There are 3 men. Our Savior has arrived.
That's right.
That man you see on the far left, that is the teacher of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That man came from the East.
Right.
That's in your Bible. Son of Man came from the East, even unto the West. To do what? He came seeking to save that which was lost.
Yes.
Then that man in the middle, oh, that's the great one. That's the great, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's the man they do not want you to know nothing about.
That's right. That's right.
He was the first begotten of the dead black people in America. He was the first one who woke up to who he really was.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And he was preceded by Noble Drew Ali.
Right.
But Noble Drew Ali wasn't the one. If he was, he would have lasted long. But we honor him.
Yes, sir.
He was preceded by Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey didn't want to teach straight out Islam. He gave it to you in a slick way. He said, one God,
Right.
one aim,
Right.
one destiny.
That's what he said.
That's Islam. His teacher was a Muslim.
Say that. Say that.
But he didn't think we were ready for Islam. Not Elijah. He was taught, give them their religion. See, our ancestors in slavery, look at the song. Give me that what? Oh, time religion. What were you singing about, my dear? I thought you was a Christian. No. When we was in the field, a white man didn't let us worship.
That's right. That's right.
They were singing, give me that old time religion. It was good enough for my mother and father. See, they were making the white man feel good while talking about it. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We know how to make crackers feel good while we're talking about it. Right?
Yes, sir.
We were singing the song Swing Low. Sweet what? Coming to do what? See, you knew you weren't at home.
Right.
Sure did.
But now you all of a sudden you're in America.
Wake us up.
This is not your natural habitat.
Hell no. No, sir.
Not at all.
This is not your original. This is not the best part of the planet.
That part. Yes, sir.
Y'all all right? Yes, sir. So I want to just dispel some misnomers. Y'all heard the word jihad, right? Jihad. CNN, CBS, and NBC has lied to you about what that word means.
Right.
Well, I'm not mad at white people for being scared of the word. They think, see, first of all, that I made you consider yourself as being an American.
Okay.
And got you thinking that Muslim countries want to kill Americans. They don't even think about you.
Listen.
You go to the Muslim countries and ask them to give them a description of Americans, and they'll give you a description of Caucasian people.
That's right.
Right.
They don't even see you as an American. They see you as a victim in America.
That's right. That's right.
They mad at white people, so I be like, oh, cool.
That's right.
I know what you want to protect. What's the difference between you and the German Shepherd? Dogs are so loyal to their masters. Anyway, let's get to jihad.
Jingo.
Jihad. The literal meaning of jihad is struggle or effort. That's the literal meaning. A struggle. There is a struggle between good and evil. There's a struggle between right and wrong. And there is a struggle between black and white.
Yes, sir.
And it means much more than holy war.
Right. Right.
Muslims use the word jihad to describe three different kinds of struggle. A believer's internal struggle to live out the Muslim faith as well as possible. Both are ignorant of Islam and serve only one another. The Quran described three types of jihad struggles, and 0 of them means to permit terrorism.
That's right. That's known facts. Yes, sir.
These three struggles are jihad, a struggle that I'm having with myself.
Right. Yes.
You know that struggle you have? You know how you lie to yourself?
Yes, sir.
You make your New Year lie-illusion. I'm changed. I'm gonna lose 50 pounds when you gain 50. I'm gonna stop cussing and you cuss worse.
I'm gonna eat one meal a day.
I'm gonna stop being a homosexual. Who it got quiet?
Let's stop for a moment.
The world has gotten so sensitive.
I mean,
Yes, sir. Come on.
I don't hate
that's right.
homosexuals. I had a brother that was one. Loved him. I didn't like his action. I'm not gonna lie.
Subhanallah.
Don't come at me with that.
So you're right.
Kissing all on me. Whoa. Hitting on me. No, dude. Hey, Muhammad, no. Say my name with some bass. You wasn't talking like that when you was 11. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That struggle with self, see? Every one of us sitting in this room got at least 5 demons in your head.
Uh-oh.
Right.
At least 5. But it could be as many as 1,000.
Subhanallah.
Different personalities you go in and out of.
Astaghfirullah.
At one moment you being your mama.
Always something like
Another moment you being your dad. Another minute you being the dude that down the street that everybody likes and you go into his character.
Listen.
Sometimes you can get stuck in a character and lose who you were.
wow.
Understand.
Jihad also means a struggle against Satan.
Allahu Akbar. Right.
And another jihad could be a struggle against an open enemy known as the lesser jihad.
I mean.
The white man is not my biggest enemy. He's
come on.
really easy.
Come on.
When I know who I am, when I'm being myself as taught to me by Elijah Muhammad, a white man can't commit a nuisance on and near me. I'm not going to let it. I'm going to stop him. Hold on, you're lying.
That's right.
You must be a Muslim. You damn right.
Allahu Akbar.
You're a liar, cracker.
Subhanallah. Go ahead.
I love to catch him in lies.
Yes, sir.
They hate us coming to the meetings.
That's real. Yes, sir.
You be around your Negro friends and they about to have a meeting with white folks. You say, hey, let me call the Muslim. No.
Fact. Yes, sir.
Come at the meeting. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. Now I'm going to go to some Bible verses. Here's how I have been taught from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because a slave don't know how to read the Bible.
That's right. Jeez.
A slave don't know how to interpret the Bible. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, brother, everything that was written in the Bible is written in metaphors, hidden codes, but it's pointing at black people.
Listen.
He says, so when you go in the Bible, when you're teaching my people, pull the scripture off the page, put it over LA and see if it fits. Or over New York, or over America. See if it fits. This is where my Christian friends, we have our issues, because they have been taught to read the Bible like a slave.
That's right.
True.
We have been given the meaning of the Bible. There's 26 keys or letters to understanding the Bible. They never give that to you. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're going to go in the book of Revelation. Look at what Revelation say. Revelation 6, verses 1 and 2. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, come and see. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. And I saw, now check this out. And I saw and beheld, or behold, a what? A white what? Horse. And he that sat on him had a bow and a crown, and was given unto him. And he went forth what? Conquering, and to do what? Conquer. We are taught that this is Caucasian people being let out of Europe.
Your history. That's right. Your history.
Behold, a white horse. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, out of all the beasts in the field, the horse is the only animal that's close to a human.
Listen, understand.
This is why in Islam we don't eat horse meat, because a horse is almost human.
Understand.
Very intelligent animals, man. So it's not talking about a white horse, it's talking about a white man. And he who sat on him had a bow. But look, he went out to conquer. Did Napoleon go out conquering?
Yes, sir.
Come on, y'all, talk black to me.
Yes, sir.
Did Alexander the Great go out conquering?
You better believe it.
These are conquerors. They was let out of Europe. Where did they go to conquer?
Now.
They went to Africa.
Oh, yeah.
They went to Asia.
Right.
They went to Central and South America. This is why when I see my Mexican brothers and sisters, I'm like, won't you be the original Aztec people you used to be?
That part. That part right there.
Every Mexican American, man, was enslaved by the white Spaniard.
That's right. You better believe it.
We was enslaved by the British, their brother.
That's right. You better believe it. Sure enough.
The French went and got parts of Africa. The Italians, all them crackers are murderers and thieves and robbers.
Sure you right.
I had a beautiful meeting with my Mexican brothers. I said, when did you become Rodriguez?
Wake them up.
When did you become Gomez? What was the name of them beautiful dark-skinned ancestors of yours before they got the white man's name?
Yes, sir.
They can't even tell me, just like we can't tell.
That's right. That's right.
That's what makes us a family. That's why I'm wearing the black and the brown bow tie today. To represent the black and brown unity. Y'all all right? Check out this next verse. In the book of Revelation. See, the white man gave you the Bible, but he didn't give you the right interpretation of the Bible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death. Look, and everywhere this horse went, hell followed him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. And what did they do? They went to kill with a what? Sword. Went to kill with a what? Sword. And with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said to us, brother, the sword is similar to the tongue.
Two head.
If you take S off the word sword, you get word.
Wow.
Word up.
They came and gave us a false teaching and we went for it. It's like cutting you with a sword. Because they cut you off from your original God. They cut you off from your original culture. The Holy Quran says persecution is worse than slaughter. Sister, it ain't what the brother did with his hand to your face with his fist. It's what he said that got you. Ain't nothing, you ain't gonna be shit.
That's right.
That's what got you. And he said it so long till you went in agreement with him. Now when he get arrested, that scum should be going to jail. You sitting there saying, he didn't mean it. He knocked one of my eyes out, but I still got one. Y'all all right? I mean, that's interesting, eh? Very interesting. So God says this. In the beginning was the Word. Take the S off of sword. What you got? Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. When did the white man get it?
Okay.
How he gonna give us a book saying this is from God? No, cracker, that's from you.
Go ahead. Understand. Understand.
Did you change it? Of course. Don't you see it says King James? He gonna cracker too.
Version. He trying that version.
He tells you, I revised it. See, there you go, being black. You don't even know the word revise means change. I know, brothers and sisters. I know. The Bible is a good book, but it's been tampered with.
That's right.
It needs to be reinterpreted.
Reinterpret. That's right.
Because a white man has used it as a tool to rule and to conquer.
Yes.
Y'all all right?
Yes,
sir.
Let's move on. Now, if a man has used a word to rule us, this is Jeremiah. I'm giving you these pictures because I don't never want us to forget these images.
Beautiful. Yes, sir.
I was with the Native Americans, our beautiful family. I love our original people.
Subhanallah.
This was the worst week of Indian life.
Listen.
When white people have Thanksgiving and they see you doing it too.
Understand. Understand.
Go to a Native American with your turkey. See what he think about you.
Right.
You're worshiping a day when these settlers came and murdered us, robbed us, raped us.
Yes, they did.
You giving thanks to that day? I was in a little store area and some cracker come up to me saying, Happy Thanksgiving. I said, what's so damn happy about it?
Say that. That's right. That's right.
They realized they didn't ran into an angry black man.
That's all right. That's all right.
Aren't you have something to be thankful for? I said, not yet.
That's right.
What do you mean? So I'll be thankful when y'all stop ruling.
That's right.
I said, this is not a good day for the Native Americans. They got quiet.
Understand. Understand.
I said, why should I have you celebrate the day when you murdered the indigenous people who are the real Americans?
Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
But look, Jeremiah says this about our condition. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is what? Brought to slaughter. And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof. Sister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, this means to destroy the womb of black, brown, and red women. What did they destroy with? Birth control. Abortion. I should have a right to my body. No, you should have a right to making better choices.
Right.
Even The sanitary napkins that they give you is giving you cancer.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
Go to the MGT class. We don't use certain things. They'll tell you.
There you go.
I ain't gonna get all up in there. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to slaughter. That's the way black people are. We don't even know we're being brought to slaughter. And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered. I ask you, black man, brown man, what is your real name? I go to the Catholic Church where most of our Latino brothers, I'm like, Rodriguez, what is your real name? Oh, it is Rodriguez. No. No. Before the settlers came, what was
Go
that
ahead.
name?
That part. That part.
They don't even know.
That's right. Fact. Fact.
There's a few of them, though, just like the nation.
True that.
They refuse to go into the white culture, and they stick with their original name.
That's right.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jesus saw it too. Look at what Jesus said. Now, I'm showing you these pictures because this is what we were before we were rulers, brother. We were hunters.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
Come on.
Until this happened.
Yeah.
Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah.
This is what I asked the theologians. Didn't God see this happening? If so, where can we find it?
Show you right.
Y'all all right?
Right now. Yes.
Jesus saw it.
Right.
There's a parable. Look at what Jesus said in the book of Matthew. And Jesus answered, said, a certain man went down from what? Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell amongst what?
Thieves.
Were white people thieves?
Yes.
Oh, some of y'all acting so scared.
They still are.
Did we get stolen?
Yes.
Look, what did they do to us? They stripped him of his raiment. Raiment don't just mean clothes.
Wake us up.
Raiment also means knowledge, wisdom,
I mean.
his culture.
Right.
And wounded him
Yes.
and departed, leaving him half dead.
Yeah.
When a man take your name, your language, and your culture, you half dead.
Right.
Let's go on to the next scripture. This is the book of Exodus. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters,
Right.
which afflicted them with their burdens, and they built for the white man treasured city. It don't say I had it, because I saw you looking for it. This who Trump think he is. He think he's Pharaoh.
Right.
Trump want to be king. And in truth, he is the king of white people.
I understand.
He ain't my damn king. Boy, I wish he would come to one of our meetings. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Understand that.
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptian made the children of Israel, which you can interchange the name Israel with black people.
Yes, sir.
To serve with rigor. So the Jews will say to me, well, this is what happened to us. Well, we saying it happened to us too.
Sure enough.
But worse than what happened to you. And they made their lives what? Bitter with hard bondage in border and in brick. He's not a robber. He's not a stealer. You want to be next to the robber. I need white people validating me.
Yeah. Right.
That's a sickness.
Good colors.
Did we serve with rigor?
Yes.
Did they beat us?
Yes. Cracker.
Yes.
What did he do to deserve that?
They don't care.
I watched Harriet Tubman. Now we're going to go into the 6 Bible verses used to make our ancestors believe God wanted them to be slaves.
Go ahead.
Y'all ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Let me let those in TV land get ready. You're watching from Africa, Philippines.
Yeah.
When I went to see Harriet, I heard some of these scriptures in the Harriet Tubman movie.
That's right.
Did you go see the movie about Nat Turner?
Yeah.
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation?
Yeah.
I kind of like Nat Turner just maybe a half a degree more than Harriet, because in the movie Harriet Tubman, didn't no white people get killed.
Yes, you can. I don't know why.
But in Nat Turner,
No more.
look at y'all. See, that's why I'm not though. Damn. Shut up.
Wait, come on.
Teach that medicine. Give us that medicine.
Here we go. The Bible was used to justify slavery. I have people who want to argue with me on social media. I don't argue with no Negro on no social media.
Right. Nope. Waste of time.
Why are you manipulating people saying the Bible was used? It's the truth.
Right.
I mean,
Truth don't need no defense.
go ahead, say that.
They did use the Bible. Here come some of the verses.
Go ahead.
The sadistic so-called slave owners would read these verses to the slaves during worship service to encourage proper attitudes and obedience.
Right.
Listen.
And once they found the proper black slave to teach that to, he became the preacher.
Listen.
Do you know in slavery, the white man would come to the black church to make sure that the Negro was reading the right scripture?
Listen.
Go ahead.
He said, make sure you tell black and brown, your heaven is when you die.
Bye.
While he was getting his heaven, while he was on the ground, still around.
Right.
That's a damn devil.
Sure is.
Y'all
Sure
know
is.
what?
Sure is.
Teach.
I'm gonna try.
That'll be all right today.
Now, we're going to go to one of the first verses. Colossians. You say you go by your Bible, right? It says, masters, provide your slave with what is right and fair, because you know that you also have a master in heaven. Now, I want you to just think about it. Have you ever been around white people?
Yes, sir.
Do they have a certain kind of attitude?
Yeah.
All the time.
Pervades.
Don't they? They got a certain kind of attitude that they are better.
Like reptiles.
Ephesians 6:5-6. Slaves,
Come on.
obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart, right?
Come on.
Just as you would obey Christ. Oh, stop right there.
There.
Bust it up. Come on.
Now, look at what Caucasians did before they left Europe. They got Michelangelo. Is that Allah? Tell him if I can, ask him if I can call him back. Before Caucasians left Europe, they had Michelangelo to paint a picture
That's right. That's right.
of a Christ that looked like the European before he went out to conquer. You don't even know that the picture, the guy who posed for the picture that you now represent as Jesus, was a murderer.
Come on.
Listen. Listen. Teach on the picture. Teach on that picture.
If you say Jesus, a white picture pop up in your head. See? Obey Christ, your heavenly master.
Oh, no.
Boy, they lied to us. Then it says, obey them not only when they're favored. Okay, thank you. Obey them not only to win their favor, when their eyes is on you, but like slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from your heart. See, they saying, be a slave in front of him
Why he not there?
Now I'm going to play this clip. Because I want you to get a good picture. Why have not Caucasian people put the movie Roots back on TV?
Come on. Original Roots.
Right.
In 76, 77, when Roots came out, black people started waking up so fast consciously, they said, damn, we made a mistake. Now remember now, slaves do what? Obey your what? Earthly masters. What earthly master?
Right.
Yeah. Come on.
Here you are ignorant. Remember, they wouldn't let us read.
No, sir.
It was against the law for us to read.
Right.
So somebody is reading a holy book from us. Now, they know by nature we're spiritual.
Right.
Right.
But they put the wrong ideas in our hearts and in our mind. But they had beat us into unconsciousness.
Come on. Teach you good.
So we better obey him. God must be with these crackers because they got us. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Obey them. Now, check out this scene. Brother, can you play that? This is a scene from Roots. Pay very close attention. Now, while he's fixing that. In this scene, are you fixing it, brother? The reason why I'm putting up this scene is going to bear witness to the scriptures you just read.
Yes, sir.
It gives you a picture because the three barriers to learning is the misunderstood word, is absence of what the person is teaching on, right? And if somebody teach you too steep a grade beyond your ability to comprehend.
Okay.
Meaning that if I'm trying to get you to understand what a tractor is, I should have a tractor in front of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that you can see what I'm saying. Is it not working, brother? So, in this particular snippet that we pull from the movie Rules, it's dealing with Kunta Kinte. And Kunta Kinte is breaking his chain off. Then, the man who was put on Kunta Kinte to break him, Fiddler. When Fiddler walked in and Kunta Kinte had broke the chain, Fiddler wasn't mad at the broken chains. Fiddler was upset that Kunta now about to get him in trouble.
Right. Yep.
Sound like Negroes when the nation come around at a white
that's
meeting.
right.
Y'all gonna get us in trouble. How I'm gonna get you in trouble being a Muslim?
Overseer slave.
Right. So brother, you still ain't got it fixed? Every week I have to fire my tech people.
Okay.
So
Dead. Isn't that gun smoke?
is it? That's not the one, bro. That's the wrong one. No, he's got a header. That's the one where you got broke.
Yeah.
Are you there, brother? Now, please, brothers, I need you to pay real close attention to the words. That's it. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna send some brothers up there.
Joey, look what I got from the kitchen. I got
Listen.
damn you nigga. Didn't you think nothing about me?
About you, fiddler.
Yeah, me. Me. You go running off in the hills, you know what's gonna happen to me? I get to sleep on a mud floor. I get to eat what the pigs won't eat. You was mine to turn into a good nigga. You go running off in everything I got, everything I worked for. And ain't much, it'll all be gone.
Fiddler want me to stay?
No, you can't stay now, not with them broke off canes. You done it till now. You done it, so you got to go right now, tonight. Ain't see you with them leg eyes broke like that. You go hard with you.
Fiddler, come, Kunta.
No. It's too cold and I'm too old. Hound dogs catch us before we get more than 2 miles. By yourself, you got a chance, maybe. Not much, like a little. You should have left them chains alone, nigga.
Chains ain't right for nigga, fiddler.
Lord, you sure is some mighty child. Yeah.
Good to never forget you. Good to be free.
Listen.
What it like to be free African? What it like? Must be something special.
You can stop it right there. Y'all get that? Now, let's recap. What was he angry about? He wasn't angry about Kunta getting in trouble. He was angry that what? I'm going to get in trouble. What did he tell him? He said, I was paid to break you in to be a good nigga. That's where the preachers are used to make us.
Right. Understand. I understand.
So when you join the nation, it's hard for the preachers who still preaching white man should be in.
That's right. That's all right.
He's worried about his job. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to sleep on the floor. But in the end, see, Kunta was brought to America from Africa. So he wasn't born into slavery.
That's right.
Fiddler was born into slavery.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So all he knew was slave.
Come on.
He didn't have no concept of freedom. Right. That's why in the end, look at what he said. What it be like to
right.
be free?
Yes.
See, when I join the nation, it's like, wow, when you accept your own and be yourself, I'm free. I make white people respond to me differently.
That's right.
I don't let them talk to me any kind of way. I'm respectful, but you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way.
Right.
And when I listen, I'm listening with a critical ear. What you just said?
Come on.
Run that by me again?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Y'all all right? Yes. Put it back up on the PowerPoint. Now, are we back? Yes, sir. This is the one that comes after that. Colossians 3:22. Slaves, obey your earthly master in everything, and do it not only when their eyes is on you. That's what Hitler was doing. And to win their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence of the Lord. Ephesians 6:9. And master, treat your slave in the same way. Do not threaten them, since you know that he who is both their master and yours is in heaven, and there is no favoritism. Now, bring up the next video. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to pay real close attention to this. It took 64 years for white people to break us. 64 years. Hold on. Pause it. The Honorable Boy Elijah Muhammad said the first slaves came in 1555, but
Right.
your white history books don't agree with that. They tell you that we came in 1619. That's a lie.
Right.
It took 64 years to break us, so it's 64 years of untold history. We didn't come here slaves. Can you imagine the first group of black men? We were warriors. We was in the hull of a ship, man. Couldn't wait to get loose, to put our hand around these crackers, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the British.
They right.
Keep.
That's right.
Keep.
Huh?
Yeah.
Couldn't wait.
They made sure we didn't eat. We were weak. We couldn't fight.
That part. That's
So the
what
first
it is.
thing he started doing is changing our culture, changing our name, changing our language. And if you go to the movie Roots, Kunta Kinte, he did not want his name changed. Now let's show you what happened.
I want to hear you say your name. Your name is Toby. What's your name?
Kunta.
Lord God, help that boy. They're gonna put him dead. What's your name? Say it. Toby. Who are you? Say your name.
Always using us.
What's your name?
Toby.
Hi. Say it again. Say it louder so they all can hear you. What's your name?
Toby. My name is Toby.
Hi. That's a good nigger. Cut him down.
Stop it right there. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
They murdered him. Mentally.
Right.
They put him to death.
Right.
His name was Kunta Kinte. He was proud of that. But the white man used us. Look at how he always used one of us. When I watch this movie, the more I watch it, it's like, I'm not so mad at the white man, I'm mad at the nigga with the whip. Because that's how some of the black police officers are.
Teach you good.
See? So the next scripture reads, slaves, see right after you've been whooped, slaves, submit yourselves to your master with all respect, Not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh. God. That's in the Bible. And they will put that on us
Right.
for 200-300 years. So Jesus got to come now and break our agreements with white people.
That's right. That's right.
Who will come? Who will break these agreements? Every now and then one would show up. Such a man was not turned.
Yes, sir.
So they downloaded their virus in us. This is a germ. Now our name became Johnson's, Wilson, Culpeper, his religion, Christianity, Catholicism, atheism, Judaism. We took on his language, English, Spanish, French. We took on his holidays, Christmas, Easter. We still in Halloween.
Yes, sir. That's right. Go ahead. That's right.
Every one of us in this room is still celebrating Halloween. We're masquerading with the mask of slavery on. That's why I love the teachings of Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
That's why they can't touch no foreign
Yes,
power.
sir.
Or his followers, his true followers. Now let's go with the last one, Titus. Teach slaves to be subjects to their masters, and everything to try to please them, not to talk back to them. I'm serious, brothers and sisters. I went to a meeting, a presidential candidate a few years ago came to LA. And the Negroes invited me to the meeting. It was held at the Sentinel newspaper on Crenshaw. All the big preachers was in their meeting. SCLC, NAACP, they was all in the meeting. I couldn't believe it. I'm in the meeting with them. And they walked in, the vice president who was running at that time with Gore. And they started introducing everybody. I'm sitting in there waiting. The vice president walked in the room, and the leader who called together the meeting said, "Stand up, everybody." And all the Negroes stood up. I sat down. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. I ain't standing up for this crap. No, listen. Then when he came in, the leader of the meeting said, "Sir, just want to let you know this is black leadership in LA. We're with you. You have our support." I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa."
Yeah.
And I saw one of the preachers. I told you. I said, whoa, hey, bro, Daniel, wait a minute. What support? That's what this is? That's right. I said, wait a minute. I'm not supporting him. What demands are we making on him? Then one of the preachers, Chip Murray at that time, said, "Brother, just hold up, be quiet." I said, "No, man, what are the demands?" Ask him. I said, "Sir, what demands have we put on you?"
Nothing.
I said, "Let me ask you a question. Have you been among the Jews? Did they give you a list of demands?" And the presidential vice president said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Did you go among the Koreans and the Asians?" "Yes."
Yeah.
"Did they put demands on you?" He said, "Yes."
Teach.
They tried to quiet me again, and the vice president said, "No, let Muhammad talk." I said, "Sir, you don't have my vote." And I said, "Ain't none of us in here no real leaders of black people in LA. That's a lie."
Say that. Go ahead.
They don't even know we having this meeting.
What you say that?
I said, "So until you have a list and sign a list of our demands on what you're going to do for black people, you ain't got our vote."
Come on now.
Ming was a joint. Now let's go through this series. I mean, this Farrakhan make different kind of people.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to show you some pictures of our suffering. This is trauma. What was this doing to our genetic makeup?
Come on, teach it good.
Just trauma. The minister said prior to 75, they would always show the pain of our suffering to the people in every mosque meeting. See, because you'll forget this.
That's right. That's true.
You'll forget that these things even happened to us. What did he do? This is in the 50s and the 60s, man. It wasn't long ago.
Yes, sir.
Not only did they attack black men, look at what they did to this woman and her boy. Look at these white people in Alabama. This is in Alabama. They hung this woman and her child from a bridge. And look at these crackers up there enjoying it.
That's right. That's right.
This is America.
Sure is.
Y'all all right? Go among the Native Americans. When Caucasian people came to America, it was 112 million Native Americans. There's only 2 million left. Look at this. Look at Heather. Do they look like they're upset? It's enjoyment. Look at them. This is at a picnic. That's where the word picnic comes from. They pick a nigga to hang him.
Understand. Understand.
See, they hate the nation. They don't want us. Look at this. Look at the 60s and the 70s. Look at that. These are young people.
Right.
This is why right now, the students, this is the weakest group of students I've ever seen. Because the white man has feminized the black man so much so, they done got weak. Look at this. See, I couldn't take that today. I ain't sitting at no counter begging white people to feed me nothing.
No, sir. No, sir.
Feed me, nah. Y'all can't feed me.
No, sir.
Lawson was in charge of that.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Right now.
Now, we're about to close out. Through all this pain, God had to come.
I mean.
God always raised someone from the suffering of the people.
Right there. That's my answer.
So in the book of Matthew, Jesus now talking about this generation, in my opinion, of white people. Look at what he called them. Usurpers.
Yes, sir.
Generation of what? Vipers. How can you escape the damnation of hell? They killed all our leaders.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them you have killed and crucified. And some of them you shall scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city.
Right.
Every city the minister go, they persecute Farrakhan.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Because Farrakhan comes in the spirit of all of those who went before
You
him.
better believe it.
He comes in the volume of the book.
Lord,
That upon you may come all the righteous bloodshed upon the earth. This is Jesus talking to white folk.
yes, sir.
When I hit my Caucasian friends with this, they can't take it. That upon you may come all the righteous bloodshed upon the earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zachariah. And may I add Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, may I add Malcolm X into that, may I add Kwame Ture,
Right.
all of those who have come.
Lord, one pump.
They're going to have to pay for that.
Oh, you better believe it.
We are taught in the Nation of Islam that this kind of trauma
Right. That's what it is.
produces cells in your body. Did you know that? Called genome. There's a cell where all the trauma of slavery goes into a cell, and we pass that down from generation to generation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Genome. The haploid set of chromosomes. Haploid is a single set, meaning that it is male and female, meaning the male sperm and the female egg. A gamete is the same as the haploid, but it's when the two come together to produce a new life. It is the complete set of genes or genetic material present in the cell. Look at this. The idea that trauma can leave a chemical mark
Come on. Right.
on a person's what? Which then is passed down to subsequent generations. The mark doesn't damage the genes. There's no mutation. Instead, it alters the mechanism by which the gene is converted into functioning proteins or expressed. Huh?
Yes, sir. Good God.
Let him that have wisdom, we wear the mark of the beast.
Lord, what?
What do you mean you wear the mark of the beast? Whenever you see a blood killing a crip, that's the mark of the beast.
Yes,
He's
sir.
doing the same thing the white man did.
Right. That's right.
Brother, when you rape a sister or pimp her, you're doing the same thing the white man did when he sold her.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Your genes have been altered to now kill each other.
Stuff up.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
It breaks up this sickness called the Stockholm Syndrome. The Stockholm Syndrome is a syndrome of feeling of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taking by a victim toward the captor. Wait a minute. You start trusting your what? Captors. This came about at a bank robbery in Stockholm.
Right.
The name of the syndrome is derived from a botched bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden in 1963. 73, thank you. 4 employees of this particular bank, I ain't gonna try to say that name, were held hostage in the bank's vault for how many days? 6 days. Now they was in bondage for just 6 days. How long you been in bondage? 400 years. Now look at what 6 days did to them. During a standoff, the seemingly bond developed between the captive and the captive. One hostage during a telephone call with Swedish Prime Minister Olof stated that she fully trusted her captors, but feared that she would die in a police assault on the building. Do we fully trust our captors? Yeah. This is the witty lynch. You can go read that on your own, but after 400 years, this is what that kind of trauma had produced.
Right.
Pimps, gangs, Negroes, coons, niggas, self-hatred.
Right. True. That's right.
Now somebody got to come and teach to remove this.
All right.
Because I had this kind of mentality before I came in the nation. We had this kind of mentality before I came in the nation. I was like all of this before I came in the nation.
That's true.
Sister said some of us still got it right here. I'm gonna read that one. Hold on.
So this man was raised for us.
Oh, Akbar. Beautiful.
This man, Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he passed it on to this man. So Isaiah said, therefore, thus said the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone. See, we need a black leader that's like a stone. Unmovable. Not no compromising Negro in Congress talking about give us reparations. No, we should demand reparations.
Right.
Or else. Y'all all right? A tried stone, a precious stone. These two men are tried. A sure foundation, he that believeth shall not make haste. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies. That's what we're doing. We got to sweep away the lies, and the waters shall overflow in her hiding place. Let's go on. This man, Master Farad Muhammad, Jesus saw him coming. Where it says, where its lightning cometh out of the east, even into the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered. What is the symbol of America? Eagle. The carcass meaning a dead people. That's us.
Right.
And Jesus said, this day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. See, this man, Master Farad Muhammad, told Elijah Muhammad, these are not your names.
That's right. That's true.
This is not your language.
Teach.
This is not your culture.
Sure ain't.
He gave us our lessons where it says, why does the devil keep our people illiterate? Look at the answer. So that he can use them as a tool and also a slave. He keeps them blind to themselves so that he can what? Illiterate means ignorant.
Ignorant. That's right.
See, as long as you and I don't have a knowledge of ourselves, you can be mastered. When I go to meetings, particularly now since the minister changed my name and they said, Abdul Sayid is here this evening.
Allahu Akbar. Yeah. Beautiful. Yes, sir.
Peter said, John Washington is here. White man said, what that nigga want?
That's right. Come on, come on.
I mean, I've even had black people ask me, why would you change your name from what
That's
your mother gave?
teach on that slave mentality. Go ahead.
I said, my mother ain't God.
Allahu Akbar.
My mother gave me that name in ignorance.
True that. True.
If my mother had a known who she truly was and what our names truly were, she would have surely given me that name.
Yes. That's
Well, what is it about a name? Go to your Bible. It says a name is more precious and powerful than gold.
Allahu Akbar.
So I don't want the white man's name. I don't want to be John's son or William's son. In the book of Malachi or in the book of Deuteronomy, it says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, Moses, and put my words in his mouth. The honorable Elijah Muhammad was like Moses.
Amen.
Moses had to go to the children of Israel and break them from the bondage of Egypt.
Right. Right.
Behold, I will send you who?
Elijah.
The prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Look at what Elijah's job is. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children,
yes,
and the hearts of the children to their fathers. You got to turn us.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know that this man is singularly responsible for black consciousness in America?
Yes. Understand.
We weren't calling ourselves black.
That's right.
Black power came from Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah. That's right.
Ask the Panthers.
Right.
They didn't want the discipline of the nation.
See that point. That's right.
We were calling ourselves Negro.
Allahu Akbar.
Elijah Muhammad said, no, you are the original man.
Yeah.
You're the Asiatic black man.
Yeah.
We didn't even want, don't call me black. Oh, now you better call me. James Brown was influenced by the nation. He started saying, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. I mean, we were dancing. Say it loud. Yeah, I got a little rap. No, man, and that's a beautiful time. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with us connecting back with Africa?
Nothing.
What's wrong with us connecting with Mexico, connecting with Central and South America? We go to Brazil. It's 200 million black people.
Listen. Understand.
They're just speaking Spanish.
What you, that's right. That's right. Listen.
And Portuguese. That's right.
Right.
So look at the Holy Quran says to the devil, he said, respite me to the day when they are raised. See, when you come in the nation, you get this teaching. You go from this to this, brother. From this to this, sister. And once you come into this state, men don't know how to approach you.
It's true.
See, in this state, you're a plaything. Nah, you can do that. I ain't dress however you want. I'm just putting you up on game now.
Yeah, come on, talk. Yes, sir.
You'll get his attention. Oh, he'll wake out. But he ain't gonna marry you. A sister in this condition, you never read about her getting raped. I don't know no MGT that run back to the moms and said the homies cussed me when she was like this.
Teaching good. That's
We
right.
ain't never heard of such.
I understand.
I'm not saying you have to dress like that, but it's something about that that's divine.
Allahu Akbar.
And it pulls on the divine nature of the looker.
Allahu Akbar. Good teaching.
See, sister, your dress is a language. You're telling me about yourself.
I mean,
Now, it's your prerogative, but if you're showing me these, you trying to feed me? No, I'm not being vulgar. I mean, you got swerves. All your players told you. You got swerves and curves. Really rock my nerves. All right? But you're supposed to hide your adornment. Brother, I don't need you to get familiar with my behind. Get familiar with my mind. Well, then show me your mind and stop showing me your behind.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
Because the God like motion. So when you walk, I look at the motion. And it's flipping and it's flopping. No, really. This is what I love about the religion, man. I'm telling you. My wife, when we're together, I don't even say nothing wrong to her when she dresses like that. Yes. Even if I'm angry, I can't even say a bad word. But hurry up, take that off. I got something to say to you. It's a beautiful thing. So if God gives you the advantage on how to pull the best out of a man, take God's example. But Satan said, no, let me dress you because I want you to bring the worst out of you.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? That's right.
Brother, we have been reduced to our lower desires.
God forbid.
And that's the only thing we brag about.
That's right. That's true.
And that ain't really nothing.
Sure.
I'm going to leave that alone. For unto us. See, this man produced this man out of his mind.
That was real.
Then he told the minister, I want you to be over the nation in my absence.
That's right. That part. Understand. Listen.
So did it.
You can take Minister Farrakhan and read about Jesus, and you can see the comparative analysis, and you can see they're on a parallel track. Right. The Jews didn't like Jesus, and the Jews don't like Farrakhan.
That's right.
Huh. Works every time.
Farrakhan is in this thing with the Jews. Why? Because he's the real Jesus.
That's why.
Howbeit, when the Spirit of truth is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall speak of himself, and he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak.
Right.
And he will show you things to come.
Right.
He shall glorify me.
Yes.
Always glorify me on the blood.
Always. Never falter. Never.
I close. This scared the hell out of the white man.
Come on with it. Come on.
The Million Man March.
Sure.
This showed his power.
What's up?
He looked. Nearly 2 million showed up. He asked for 1 million.
Yes, it was.
One but 10% of this group in the nation. These are mostly Christians.
Understand.
Fulfilling that part of the scripture. And when he said, thus has spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth.
Right.
Loose him, Satan, and let him go. This was on a Monday, not a weekend.
Yes, sir.
Where black men, the minister said, don't go to work that day. 2 million showed up. It was so peaceful. Not even a blade of grass was out of place.
Listen. Think about it.
They had the military underground ready to kill us,
right,
if we act up.
Listen.
President Clinton left town that day. We took D.C. Without a weapon.
Nothing.
How did you take? What was the weapon? The word. The word. In the beginning, the word was God, and the word was with God. It was with the minister that day.
That's right.
What happened out of the Million Man March? You know 25,000 black children was on a waiting list to be adopted. After the Million Man March, that whole list was eradicated. Do you know he said, go back and join your church. Get involved in a black organization. 2 to 3 years after the Million Man March, the church saw the biggest enrollment of black men ever in the history of America because of what that man said.
That's right. Think about it.
You saw gangs beginning to unite, and the white man had to send back in spies. Oh, man.
Right. Listen.
This is the man. God took away the stone from the heart. In fact, they got so sick of all them other leaders talking, they started cheering on the minister.
Right.
And in the book of Ezekiel says, I prophesied as he commanded me. And the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet. An exceedingly great army.
Right.
When the members of the nation, when you see us in these uniforms, you see 1,000 men. And we march through the ghetto.
Yes,
you know how that make black women feel?
Come on.
Brown women feel to see black brothers.
Good.
Not fighting, but in unity.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing you'll ever want to see.
Yes, sir.
The black, the brown, the red, all of us together. This is the white man's worst night. Well, I thank you, brothers and sisters, and I hope that you have learned. Don't you believe what they say about this man?
That's right.
Because they're coming after him now.
Yes, they are.
Listen.
They're going to say all kind of crazy things about him. They're going to say he's an anti-Semite. They're going to lift and say he has something to do with Malcolm X's death. Every lie they can think of.
Right. That's what they do.
They're going to come after his domestic life. They're coming. The minister said, brother, when they finish, most of the members of the nation are going to leave.
Fake one.
Yeah, the fake ones. Go ahead.
Teaching good. Come on.
He's going to put that kind of pressure.
Uh-huh.
Even if you're a new member, I don't give a damn what the white man say about this man.
Me?
I may not know everything he said. I'm going to tell the white man, go to hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Farrakhan did this, so what? What you do?
What you
Right.
say? What you say? Say that.
Straight to hell.
See? They'll never be able to prove it.
Okay.
I stand with him.
Me too.
I stand with him and I pray. This is what I pray. That when the flood comes, I pray it don't take me away. He also said some of our indiscretions are going to come out.
Okay.
Some of us been caught in hotels doing things.
Listen.
I don't care. I ain't never claimed to be righteous. It may be something that come out. Brother Tony, did you do that? Brother Abdul matter? Yeah, that's me. So what?
All of us got
May catch some of you at a club drinking.
All of us
See,
got
you Balinese Muslims, they fake Muslims. Wait a minute, we never told you we were right.
Come on now. Come on now.
I'm struggling to be right.
Yes, sir.
I try to do as much good as I possibly can do. Do I have some weakness? Yes. What are they? Not your damn business.
Lord, what part?
Why are you trying to look at the garbage can on my life?
Yeah, that part.
So whatever they're going to bring it. It'll be a sad day in America if the nation is gone.
True that.
And there's nobody else to fight for us.
Sure ain't. No.
So when they attack us, stand up.
That's sure.
I thank you, brothers and sisters. May God bless you as I greet you in peace. Before you leave, we have a petition. We want to get up out of here. We believe that black people should be separated. Brown people should be separated. When we say separated, it don't mean we got to go nowhere.
Understand. Understand.
That ain't the first degree of separation. Separation means, do you believe that black people should have a part of LA that's just ours?
Listen.
How many of you believe that? Good.
Go ahead.
An area that's just us.
Yeah.
We ain't stealing.
Right.
We got our own grocery stores. We got our own supermarket. We got our own everything.
Beautiful.
Won't that be beautiful?
Yeah.
The Koreans got an area called what town?
Think about it. Yeah.
Chinese got an area called what? Vietnamese got an area called Little Vietnam.
Real.
Huh? Armenians got an area called Little Armenia. I was over there yesterday. I said, damn, what do you got? All you got is the projects and Popeye. And they killing you with that damn chicken sandwich. So what's wrong with separation? Then our Mexican family, they got an area called Little Mexico. Then we set up trade agreements. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Sounds good.
We should have a separate state of territory
Of our own.
for all our pain and suffering. We don't need no check for reparations only.
Yeah.
If that man gave every black person $1 million, the white man of Alaska will be back to give it to him the next day. In a Cadillac, potato chips, and hot sauce. No, the basis of freedom, you gotta have land.
Yeah.
Do you know Africa is asking us to come back?
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
They're like, black man in America, what's wrong with you? We have minerals here.
Right. That's right.
The Chinese is here. Why don't you come?
That's right.
Show us how to build bridges. Show us how to build plumbing. Show us how to set up an infrastructure, and we'll show you where the gold is.
Right.
We'll show you where the diamonds are.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
crackers love diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sisters, what's wrong with you getting on that airplane, flying to countries and getting your own textile? Nothing wrong with that. Won't you go down to Brazil and cut their hair yourself?
That's right.
Say, hey, I got $10 for that. See, you don't need nobody selling you a wig, you can't make them.
Make them.
What's wrong with us doing our own nails?
Mess up.
You going in something, you don't know what them folks saying. Bang, 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 bang. I went there one time, I did it once. I didn't know what they were saying. I thought they would, when I said, y'all talking about me? No, I said, you're a liar. So we have a petition that Minister Farrakhan wants to take a poll of black, brown, and red people. Do you want to separate from the wickedness of Caucasian people?
Yes.
So before you leave, find that petition. We want you to sign it. Some of you may have signed it coming in, but it's at the table. But every week we should have it at the table. And when people sign in, tell them about it. And just sign it so the minister can take it to the White House and show them how people don't want to be with y'all. We done tried living with y'all in peace and it just don't happen. We get shut down and you call it shot down and you call it justifiable.
Yeah, all the time.
Can you imagine in LA we have our own area and the Nation of Islam is the police?
Security.
With no weapons, we have our own police cars with rims on them.
Security. Yes, sir. Security. Special.
See, our jailhouse will be true rehab.
Listen, understand.
We'll sentence you to knowledge.
Come on with it. Come on with it. Unload them heavy guns.
Brother, you stealing? Come in. You going to this knowledge school.
Yep.
We'll lock you in a cell and show you why you shouldn't steal. If you steal, that means you're a lazy man. You done ran out of creativity to produce.
Teach. Teach.
Brother, you hit your mama? Oh, hell no. You going in the basement. We got to teach you the respect of the black woman. Right. You still got the residual effect of white people in you. We got to get that out of you.
That's right.
See? Y'all all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sisters?
Yes, sir.
Stop beating your children with your tongue.
Yes, sir.
If you're going to whoop them, you ain't got to talk. You ain't nothing, just like your no-legs daddy.
Wow. Silent.
Don't talk while you spank them. Just spank them. Then tell them why. See, teach them. It's a teachable moment. But sometimes time out don't work. Some of y'all don't want to be in time out. Some of you want to be your children's friend. Stop that. Be your child's mother, parent.
Say that. Teach.
So, how many of you believe that what you heard today is the truth and good for oppressed people? Oh, come on, family. That's a good feeling. How many of you, this is your first time at a Nation of Islam meeting? Would you raise your hand? Oh, look at our family. Look at that. Wow. Stand up. All our first time guests, stand up. Stand up. Stand up, please. Please, let us. Come on, y'all. Give a hand. Let's honor them. Wow. Thank you. Look, to our first time guests. If I said anything to offend you, please charge it to my head and not my heart.
Yes, sir. I hear you.
We love you more. I mean, we love it that you're here. We family. And sometimes in our zeal to teach, it may come across rugged. It may come across hard. It may even sound angry. But I am angry. I'm hurt.
Say that part.
Because I want every black man to know what I know. I want for my brother what I want for myself.
Oh, what part? Beautiful.
I want to see us with our own, where you got what I got. You ain't got to take nothing from me. You ain't got to be envious of me.
Right.
No, man, be better than me. So you say you believe that what you heard today be the truth?
Yeah.
Then you should have some courage.
Come on now.
Because you said you believe.
That's right.
Yes.
Then good. We want to put you on that road to truth. But on the road to truth, you might have a scarecrow up in your head. Just like the wizard, you want to see him, but somebody telling you, don't you join. They spineless.
Right,
See,
right.
the scarecrow was spineless. All he needed was a brain. Some of us may not have the courage to take the next step. When I heard this teaching, I was a top athlete. I didn't care about none of that. I wanted to be with Farrakhan.
Lord, what?
Because I knew in the deep recessitudes of my mind, I was born to help free slaves.
Yes. Yes.
Huh? I know I'm a Nat Turner type.
Come on.
I know I'm a Malcolm X type.
Come on.
I'm a Farrakhanite. But I don't want to be like the Tin Man, Frozen, the Mannequin Challenge. How many of you want to join the Nation of Islam today and help us go get our people? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. You said you believe. Come on, stand up, man. I need you to stand. Sisters, we can't go nowhere without you. Come on down, brothers. I want to shake your hand on behalf. Come on down, my brother. Stand right here. Sisters, any of you want to learn more about yourself? Come on, stand up. Anybody? Don't let us go by ourselves. I don't want no heaven if you ain't there.
Yeah.
If I go to heaven and all I see is heaven, I'm jumping back in here. Look at these brothers, man. Let's give them a hand. We're looking for soldiers, male and female, to learn more about yourself. How many of you, you're not ready to stand up, but you want to learn more? Raise your hand if you want to learn. Keep coming.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep coming. Go online. Go on YouTube and put in Farrakhan and listen to every lecture.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
He has a series called The Time and What Must Be Done. Man, he teaches.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Come on, y'all. Give our sister a hand. Stand right here, sister. Come on, y'all can do better than that, man. This is our people, man. This is our people.
Sure is.
Watch out, we got some more coming.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't knowing. Go ahead, sister. Anybody else? Come on, man, make us come get you. Anybody else? Sisters, thank you all so much. What is your name?
Sister Keena Spencer.
Sister Kenny?
Keena.
Keena
Yeah.
Spencer?
Yeah, sure enough.
Oh, it's an honor to meet you, dear sister. Wow. Thank you. Your name?
Nina Ross.
Nina Ross. Oh, what an honor, Sister Nina. Your smile kept me going. Man. No, thank you so much. And your name, sis? Charlene Smith? Darlene. Oh, sister. Yeah, y'all. Wow, yeah. I can see it. Brothers and sisters, this is a... What? You got a baby? That's an MGT in training?
Go ahead.
Wow. Look, there's a class that's established in the Nation of Islam for the women only. No men can go in that class. That class is where women close ranks with God. And once a woman closes ranks with God, you got a nation. Without that, we ain't got a nation. Men can't make a nation.
That's right. That's right.
If a woman ain't there, there's no nation.
SubhanAllah.
Because no nation can rise any higher than its woman.
That's right.
So in that class, when you close ranks with God, and you get his eyes, you get his ears, then you force men to act according to God to even get your attention.
What you say?
If it ain't about God, you ain't get my attention. The muscle got me, Cupid got me, and I was wrong.
This stuff.
But that's a beautiful class. And it was set up by Master Farad Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And these sisters have a healing power because we don't believe that no nation can rise any higher than this woman. So you go to that class, any question you have, they'll be able to answer. All right? Sister Valerie, would you take them? Come on, y'all, give our sisters a hand. What's your name, brother? Brother Earl. Honored to meet you, Brother Earl. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. My brother, what's your name, soldier? Smooth? You right? They call you Smooth? Amen.
Smith, but my name used to be Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. That's all right. We got another name coming for you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got them dreadlocks. It's going to be a great dread for them.
Right there.
You honored to have you, bro. You about the same height as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Allah, one bar.
I had a situation that happened like yesterday and like the day before that was just like, it was,
That's all right. Don't talk about it in front of some of these people in here snitches. We'll talk, all right? What's up, soldier? What's your name, sir? Brother Franklin Scott. It's an honor to meet you, brother. Thank you for honoring us. What's your name? Walaikum salam. Your name, sir? Yasir Khalil.
Allah, one bar.
Ah, what an honor. Thank you for honoring us with your presence, man. What's your name, soldier? Brother Leroy Smith.
Brother Levi Smith.
Levi. Come on, Levi. Man. They call you Sadiq, then that's what I'm called.
Yeah.
Honored to meet you, Brother Sadiq. Brother, look, we got a class called the FOI.
Yes.
It means fruit of Islam. Right? Because the black in America had to be taught different from the Arab.
That's right. Come on with that.
We got Islam. We believe in all the pillars of Islam.
Yes.
But it had to come to us different that wouldn't make us a slave to Arabs.
Yeah, that's part. That's right.
But it gives us a thorough knowledge of who we are, so nobody in the name of religion will ever reduce us again. Huh? Prophet Muhammad saw Bilal, a black man, going into paradise before himself, because Prophet Muhammad was white.
Allah. That's right.
Now that's real.
Yeah.
It's something about the black man. See, Muhammad didn't teach Bilal about the one God. He knew the one God before Muhammad was teaching. He came to verify that he knew what he was talking about.
One bar. Understand.
And it was Bilal that called the Adam.
All right now.
Because don't nobody got the spirit like we do.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah,
that part right there.
They were white folks, man. But brother, it's an honor to see y'all now. Your biggest struggle is going to be from within. Why did I do this? See? But don't worry. Just come to that class. Where's the brothers? Brother Merlin, where are you? That's one of your teachers. I'm one of your teachers. That brother there is one of your teachers. All them brothers in uniform, we your teachers. That's right. See? And everything we know, we have to deposit in you. So who's going to take my brothers and take care of them? You going to take good care of them, brother? Yes, sir. All right. Come and get them. Come on, y'all. Let's give a hand to our brothers. With that, I'm going to turn this meeting over. Brother, who's coming up after me? I'm going to turn the meeting back over to Brother Merlin. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.
Come on, brothers and sisters, put your hands together for our Western region. Representing the nation of Israel, the far front man in the West. Abdul Malik, come on now, you can do better than that. Praise be to Allah. Have we been well taught today, brothers and sisters?
Yes, sir.
We're going to go ahead and get to the announcements. Please join us during the week on Monday, the FOI, Fruit of Islam, and the junior FOI class starts at 7:30 p.m. And on Wednesdays, we have the study group at 8 p.m. to 9:30. And on Friday, we have the study group from 7:30 p.m. to 9 a.m. And the women's class from 9 a.m. to 12 noon each Saturday. The MGT GCC classes each Saturday at 9 a.m. And of course, the Sunday meetings, the main meetings, the lecture begins at 11. The doors open at 10:30 a.m.